Your girlfriend has you by the balls. She tells you what to do, what to wear, how to spend your time. Every time she does this, you feel like a boy who's being controlled by his mother, and you are done with it. You want this to change because you want to be the man, you want to be in charge. But every time there's a discussion in your relationship and it's your chance to speak up, you freeze and are unable to speak what's on your mind. By the end of this short video, you'll understand the reason this is happening, and you'll receive a simple mindset method that helps you instantly break this pattern. This will allow you to take leadership in the relationship without second guessing yourself, and will allow you to speak your mind during disagreements without your heart racing or throat closing up. This will ultimately make her respect and desire you more as a man. I'm Henry, and I help men go from passive and shy to confident and outgoing using self-development tools. Let's get into it. So when your girlfriend is telling you what to do, here's what's actually happening. You're not just being passive or being a nice guy. You're actually trapped in a pattern where you automatically go along with what she wants, and then you get resentful afterwards because you weren't able to speak your mind. Maybe she decides how you're going to spend your weekends, or she chooses which movies you're going to watch. This sucks because it makes you feel powerless. And the worst part, you're afraid she might get upset if you say something. What if she gets angry? What if you end up fighting? So you stay quiet and return to being the little boy in the relationship. Now, before I show you why this is happening, here's what you're going to get from this video. First, I'm going to show you the real reason you're stuck in this pattern, and it's not what you think. Second, I'll reveal the truth that changes everything. This is the part that makes you realize you've been looking at this completely backwards. And third, I'll give you one of the many methods I teach, which will make you reclaim your power without starting World War III in your living room. And look, if you're getting value from this, just tap the subscribe button. I make content on how to stop feeling weak and how to start showing up as the strong man you truly are. Now, here's what most guys don't realize, and this is the part that might piss you off a little bit. Okay, so first, why do you keep doing this pattern? Most guys think it's because that's how I've always been. I've always been weak, or I've never been the masculine type of guy who leads in a relationship. But that's not it. The real reason is part of you, this ego, this unconscious pattern, actually wants you to stay weak. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. When you were a kid, being nice, being agreeable, being passive, that kept you safe because you didn't rock the boat too much. You were agreeable, you avoided danger, you actually avoided getting hurt. So your brain realized passiveness and weakness equals safety. And now as an adult, even though you're perfectly capable of standing your ground, your ego, this old part of you, is still running the old program. It's convincing you that speaking up with confidence and asserting yourself is going to cause something bad. Specifically, you're terrified in this case of starting a fight with your girlfriend, of her getting angry, getting disappointed. So you stay passive, you let her lead and suppress your own wishes and desires. And your ego gets to stay in its comfort zone, feeling weak, feeling small, feeling overwhelmed. Now, you probably think you're avoiding conflict by going along with what she wants, right? But what if I told you that your passivity is actually creating the exact problem you're trying to avoid? Think about it. When you don't speak up, what happens? You become the little boy. And she wants a man though, so she loses attraction to you. Plus, you become resentful and unhappy in the relationship. The distance grows, the intimacy dies, conflict is going to arise. So the very thing you're doing to keep the peace with your passivity is actually destroying the peace in the long term. Your passive ego is creating a slow burning problem which is capable of actually breaking your relationship. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind. You already have a strong, confident side in you which makes you capable of standing your ground. Let me explain. The resentment you feel, the desire to speak up and become a strong man, that feeling, that's your strength trying to come out. That's your power knocking on the door saying, let me out. The problem isn't that you're weak. The problem is that you're suppressing your strength because your ego is scared of it. Scared of showing the resentment, which is your strength. Scared of showing the anger, which again, is your strength. And that strength and power is already there. You just have to stop listening to the ego that wants you to stay small. When you start steering against the ego, when you start speaking up, something shifts. The universe starts mirroring back that you actually are strong rather than weak. Your girlfriend will start respecting you more. Other people will start taking you more seriously. You'll start feeling like a man instead of a boy. But it requires you to do the one thing your ego is terrified of. Stop being passive. So how do you actually do this without blowing up your relationship? That's what I'm going to show you next. Alright, so what do you actually do to fix this? Here's my first method, and it's simpler than you think. Pick one small thing, just one, where you've been going along with what she wants. Now, the exercise is that you're going to practice speaking your truth like a guy who is strong and assertive. So picture a man you aspire to be like, somebody masculine, maybe James Bond or some other figure. Then you're going to speak up and say what you actually want like the man you aspire to be. Perhaps it's Tyler Durden or James Bond, some figure like that. And if your ego pops up and says, I'm afraid she'll be angry, tell that voice to move aside. Use all your willpower to speak up and make it happen. Now look, I know what you're thinking. Henry, if I do this, she's going to blow up. We're gonna fight. Maybe she'll even leave me. But here's the truth. Women want a man who has a backbone. She doesn't want a doormat. She wants someone she can respect. And when you speak up calmly and confidently, not aggressively, not like a joke, but a man who knows what he wants, that's attractive. That's what builds respect. This isn't about being controlling or toxic. It's about having your preferences and expressing them. That's what healthy men do. So at the practical level, the next time something needs to be decided in your relationship, you're going to be the first mover and speak your mind. For example, you could say, hey, I want to pick the restaurant tonight, or I'm going to spend Saturday morning working alone on my project. I'll be available for bonding time in the afternoon. Notice, you're not being a dictator, you're just stating clearly and confidently what you want. Basically, you're finally doing what she's already been doing 90% of the time, which is be strong and opinionated. If she does it, you're allowed to do it too. Great. And if your girlfriend gets angry or pushes back, like perhaps tries to convince you that your idea is a bad idea, stand your ground calmly and confidently and stick to what you want to do. Keep practicing this. One more thing though, here's what's going to happen. That old anxious ego of yours is going to freak out. It's going to tell you she's going to explode, she's going to get hurt, she might leave me, but 99% of the time she's going to be fine. She might get surprised, she might push back a little, maybe she'll get angry, but remember, conflict is also tension, which leads to passion. And you know what else is going to happen? You're going to feel a little bit of your power come back. You'll feel less resentful and you'll feel more like yourself. And that's just the beginning. That's how you start breaking the pattern. This will allow you to pick the movies you want to watch together, spend more time on the things you enjoy, like reading books, working on your business, and you'll start to feel like the man of the house, the leader of your woman. Now, this process does involve some conflict in the relationship. This is just the reality, because very often women don't want to give up the power they have in the relationship. So she likely will push back and there will be conflict, especially in the beginning, which can be quite stressful and difficult to navigate. So it actually helps to have somebody to help guide you through the fights, to help you stay clear-headed. And I've helped many men go through this exact process. So if you want this type of support, you can get a free clarity call or coaching with me. The sign-up link is in the description. And there are many more simple tools I teach which help you overcome your fear of speaking up and being authentic and allow you to feel strong and confident in your relationship. If you want these methods, sign up to my newsletter, link below. So here are the 3 points I'm highlighting. 1, you're passive because your ego wants to stay weak. It's running an old survival program from childhood. 2, your passivity isn't keeping the peace, it's actually destroying the peace in the long run, and you already have the strength and confidence you need to stand up inside of you. You're simply repressing it. 3, start small. Pick one thing and then speak your truth. Watch your resentment drop and your happiness increase. Look, you have a choice here. You can keep listening to that old anxious ego that wants you to feel weak, overwhelmed, and powerless. Or you can start steering against it and grow into the strength that's already inside of you. The universe will mirror whichever you choose. If you choose the strength, people will start treating you differently. Your wife or your girlfriend will start respecting you more. You'll start respecting yourself more. And again, if you want the full roadmap, the methods, the tools, and the step-by-step process, check out my newsletter, link below. And if you want one-on-one support, book a free call, also link below. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the one area where you feel like you've been too passive in your relationship? Drop it in the comments. And if this video helped you see things more clearly, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building confidence as a man in your relationship. Remember, you're not weak. You're just listening to an ego that wants you to believe you are weak. And it's time to stop listening and reclaim your power. I'll see you in the next video.